That's what's supposed to look like. Hello, Americans. This is Podcast versus the World. My name is Cameron L. Abington. How are we doing today? This has been an interesting day. It always starts off great. Just remember, I do a podcast 3 days a week called Podcast versus the World. You see the symbol in the back right there. If you see that symbol, you see me. Um, we're brought to you by Doobie Energy Drink. Here's the package of Doobie. Doobie.gg. Use code podcast versus the world. Get 10% off your order. We're also brought to you by rss.com. Say you want to do a podcast about fishing, you want to get it out there everywhere. They're very helpful. They help me out. We're still growing this. Um, we're still growing this podcast as we speak. It's a daily event. We're always working. We're always working. So we're trying to get it out there. We're growing it slowly but surely, but we're growing. Okay. Um, I said we're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, we're everywhere. So if you see the symbol, you see me. All right. So didn't do one yesterday. Mowed grass, got sick. It just wasn't happening yesterday. Good Lord. I was like, ooh, I was a sick puppy. But we're here today. I want to talk about something that I was thinking about today. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about that. It was on my mind. And that's the life and time of Hulk Hogan. I'm like, Hulk Hogan? Well, he died last. Yeah, he did. He died. He died last week. There's been a lot of talk left and right about Hulk Hogan, and I was like, I've talked about it a little bit, but my thoughts have changed a little bit. Not a lot, not completely about Hulk Hogan, but they have kind of evolved a little bit. And so let's talk about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, in my lifetime, was the guy who helped Vince McMahon, the owner of WWE, WWF at the time, bring in a new age of wrestling. Hulk was a bigger than life personality. Um, he helped usher in WrestleMania. Without his WrestleMania, you know, when he wrestled the first time, was it Roddy Piper or Andre the Giant? One or two, I can't remember. No, it was Iron Sheik. Maybe it was Iron Sheik. Ooh, excuse me. Um, Without that, WWE wouldn't survive. He wouldn't be here without Hulk Hogan. I can say that. I can say that 100% honest truthfulness. Without Hulk Hogan, you wouldn't have a WWE right now. You wouldn't have guys doing so well. All right. Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea, which is Hulk Hogan's real name, are two different people. And we have to be old enough to understand that we have to separate the two. Hulk Hogan in the ring was an American icon. You know, red and yellow. Had the big muscles. Had the hole in his fro, but it was all good. Fought for America. I'm a real American as he came down the aisle and, you know, fought the bad guys, fought the Iron Sheik, and he fought when Sergeant Slaughter became an Iraqi defector. He fought the Russian. He fought everybody. But in his personal life, it wasn't that clean. We heard about stuff that he said. Somebody was taping him without his permission. I want to get that clear. Taping him without his permission, and he said a bunch of stuff. Terry Bollea was one thing, Hulk Hogan was another. And we have to be able to separate the two. Terry Bollea was the person that turned in Jesse Ventura, when Jesse Ventura was trying to get a union started for wrestlers so they could have insurance and take care of their families. Because wrestling back then, they didn't have it. They don't, insurance. I mean, what insurance would want to cover these guys? They're fighting and wrestling each other and getting hurt and tearing legs up and arms and elbows. And, you know, even though it's choreographed, I mean, people still get hurt. I mean, you can look at the tape. People get hurt. It's not anything new. People get hurt. People get hurt all the time. Terry Bollea went to Vince and told Vince about what Jesse Ventura was up to. Terry Bollea did that. Terry Bollea, not the greatest guy in the world. Hulk Hogan stood for America. So we thought anyway. Until we saw Terry Bollea go in front of the Republican National Committee or convention, tear his shirt off for Donald Trump. Now, maybe that wasn't so great, Terry Bollea, using Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's an American icon. Terry Bollea is a failed man who failed in a marriage, started dating a girl as young as his daughter, and in a personal moment told his true feelings about what he thought about his daughter dating black people. Dating black people. He said it was on his heart. Terry Bollea did. Hulk Hogan has wrestled with Mr. T. I'm trying to think all the black wrestlers. I mean, I couldn't go through all of them. Junkyard Dog. I mean, there's probably a bunch of them. He's a bunch of black guys he's wrestled with, or Indians, or like Tito Santana, one Mexican dude on the that I can think of off the top of my head. Back in the old days of WWE or WWF, I should say, before I went to WWE. And then we saw Hogan cross over to be Hollywood Hogan in the NWO, one of the coolest, probably the coolest faction I can think of in my life. Everybody else really bit off NWO. But Kevin Nash, which is still one of the coolest dude ever, and Scott Hall. I mean, Scott Hall was just oozing with machismo right there. Is it Raymond? Scott Hall. Loved him. Loved those guys. And Hollywood Hogan was a dastardly guy trying to take over wrestling, the new world order of wrestling, and that's what he did. Terry Bollea had a failed marriage.